ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Armchair Booking Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host. My name is ridiculously stupid, tired Steve. And joining me as my co-host is always delicious Dwaylon Davis.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah, so he's got the nickname, which is already cool. I'm still searching, And Kyle's been trying to help me out. He's like, hey, try this. And we tried, and it's like, and I was like, man, he's got some good ideas, but for some reason, they're just not sticking. That's sticking. There we go. I'll be Sticky Steve.
Sticky Steve.
But that sounds bad anyway.
But, sounds kind of gross.
But this is actually the second episode we're having this week. This is the first time we've had 2 episodes in 1 week in a little over a month.
Yeah.
And we're trying to make up for lost time, not being able to record, and me working like stupid hours, because I was just telling Dwaylon before we start recording, if I work 8 hours tomorrow, I'll have worked around 200 hours in 3 weeks.
That's crazy. That's so crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, I am glad I have a good boss. I mean, it's not his fault. He's actually worked more hours. So I can't say, well, I'm the only one doing. No, I mean, I'm actually not the only one doing it. I will say that. I mean, I do want to throw that out there, so people don't say, oh, what was me? No, and we're all hating it. But anyway, and this is the first chance we've actually had to do a preview of a pay-per-view in a while too, just because I mean our schedules have just been crazy. But we are going to be previewing WWE Extreme Rules, which is scheduled to happen this Saturday in Philadelphia. WWE has made the decision they are going to be sticking with the Saturdays for the pay-per-views. Obviously WrestleMania is still set to be 2 days, but I get that, but they need to try to not schedule it the same weekend as the Final Four. That used to work out when it was like, for us anyway, because we're big college basketball fans, we would watch the Final Four games on Saturday night, then we watch WrestleMania on Sunday night, then we watch the National Championship game on Monday night.
Right.
It was a fun-filled weekend for armchair booking.
Yep.
But now WrestleMania, they and it may just been because this past one they already had it set, and they just didn't think about the whole 2-day thing until it's like, the Final Four is like one of the most watched programs every year on TV.
Yeah.
And this one especially because one of the games was North Carolina and Duke.
Yep.
And Krzyzewski's last game. So I mean, we knew that was so glorious. It would have made it better if North Carolina would have won the championship game instead of blowing the biggest lead in championship game history.
I know, right?
We're like, after the first half, I'm like, we got this. Yeah. About an hour later, I was
they thought they had it too, and just quit playing.
Yep. And I think I texted you and like, well, that sucked. So, but either way, you know what? Second place out of 350 plus teams. I can't get too mad at that.
Right.
But anyway, so we're going to be discussing Extreme Rules, and so far there's only 6 matches scheduled, but I mean they look like they actually on paper they look like they may be good.
On paper it looks pretty good.
And there was something that Dwaylon and I forgot to talk about on Monday, and I don't know if it's just fatigue, us being old,
probably a little of both.
Probably a little both. But the great Antonio Inoki passed away.
Yep.
A few days before we last recorded.
Yeah, he was 79, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he was, and for the younger folks, if you don't know about Antonio Inoki's contribution to wrestling, just go look him up. I mean, he made wrestling, especially in Japan, really what it is.
Yes.
I mean, he had so much influence with Japanese wrestling that actually carried over into American promoters, because if you wanted, if you wanted to wrestle in Japan, you went through him or Giant Baba.
Yeah.
And Inoki, he also was part of the Japanese parliament. I mean, like a real politician.
Yeah.
And he also was the one, he actually helped arrange the event that happened in North Korea.
Yep.
With WCW. I mean, that tells you, the kind of influence he had.
Yeah.
And apparently he was not a man to be trifled with. You know, if you tried to shoot on him, well,
Oh yeah, yeah. That did
so
not work out well for anybody who tried that.
yeah, if you want to see just when a worked fight turns into a shoot fight, go find Antonio Inoki and the great Antonio. That was the dude, the big fat dude who like no selling. So finally Inoki just lost it, just started wailing on him. Wasn't he also the person who fought Muhammad Ali?
Yep.
And so I mean, world famous, you know, he's definitely gonna be missed. In a way, a former WWF champion.
Yeah.
But
they don't recognize it, but he actually did win the WWF title from Bob Backlund, I believe.
Yep. Man, I'd like to see that match. Can you imagine?
I'm sure that was a technical masterpiece right there.
But yeah, definitely rest in peace.
Yeah, absolutely. Inoki. Prayers to his family.
Absolutely. And we just found out about 15 minutes ago that the last season of Tough Enough was in 2015. Well, the winner of that, Sarah Lee, she passed away.
Yeah, she was only 30.
Yeah.
Have they said, like, do they know what happened, or?
They haven't yet. Her family's already put out a GoFundMe to help with her funeral. But she had just posted on Instagram like the day before, well, off to the gym. Finally, I'm over the sinus infection.
Yeah, one of her friends was on Twitter and said that she had just talked to her like 2 days ago, and everything, she seemed fine, and then now she's gone. So it's really weird.
And she is married to, I had his name pulled up. Her real name, well, her name is Sarah Weston. Who's her husband? Oh, she beat Mandy Rose. Sorry, and Tough.
Oh, okay.
I actually said before we started recording Liv Morgan. Then I got thinking, I said, I don't think that was right. She's married to Corey Weston, also known as Wesley Blake.
Okay. Gotcha.
They had 3 kids.
Man.
Yeah.
That's awful.
They got married in December 2017, and they had 3 kids. So it was like bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't announced her cause of death yet. I mean, and it may be like, that early.
Right.
But that is a shame, and I really hope that WWE that they acknowledge, and I'm pretty sure they will. I mean, because Tough Enough, no matter what you think of it, I mean, it's still it brought wrestling to in the spotlight. So not really in a bad way, I don't think.
Yeah. But
yeah, definitely thoughts and prayers to her family, because I mean, especially unexpected and so young.
Yeah.
And 3 kids.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, that's 3 terrible. Kids just lost their mom. I mean, it's, so before we get started with our preview of Extreme Rules, I just want to go ahead and give our contact listening info. I managed to do it Monday. See if I can pull a two-peat. Yeah, so if you would like to email us, it's email us at armchairbookingpodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/armchairbookingpodcast. You can also find us on Instagram at armchairbookingpodcast. You can find us on Twitter at bookingarmchair. You can find us on TikTok at armchairbooking. You can find us on YouTube. If you're watching it, you already know that, but this is the only video platform that I know of that we're on. I don't know of any third parties that manage to.
Yeah, I don't either.
But as far as audio platforms go, we are just about any audio platform you can think of. If we're not there, let one of us know. We will do what we can to get ourselves added, because there are third-party platforms that I know I didn't add us, but they pull off of other feeds, and not going to complain, because it's,
no.
And in fact, on some of those, on Apple Podcasts, you can go in there, give us a 5-star rating, give us a review, let us know how we're doing. On Spotify, you can also give us a rating. They don't really do reviews, but you can give ratings,
right?
Which is good for us, because at one point we have been it was in the 80s, I think.
Yeah, we were pretty high. Yeah, we were up there for a little while.
We were up there for a little bit. Yeah, last time we were in the rankings was almost a month ago. On the 9th, we were like right at like 199 in the top 200.
Yeah,
and I can show you that chart. Also, it goes. It's weird. No idea how you get in the rankings. I know downloads got to be part of it, but the ratings themselves are part of it. But the more ratings we get, the more exposure we get.
Yep.
And so that only helps us. And it gets us. Yeah, it's why this one of the things. Once you start getting that exposure,
Yeah.
yeah, it just kind of dominoes from there in a good way. And you know where I learned that? Ted.
Yep.
Ted the Hillbilly Hill. I mean, because he does so much research, and like I said, he is the king of the wrestling
Oh yeah.
podcast.
Oh yeah.
And he always manages to hook us up, and he always shares our show, and he always gives even better descriptions of what we got. I'm like, man, I wish I'd have thought of that, but I mean, but he's listening to it and giving a description.
Yeah.
So and he's always been accurate, and I really appreciate that. And actually had somebody else, another one, Wrestling with the Truth. So you have the Hill Truth, which is Ted, then you have Wrestling with the Truth. They actually shared, and they actually mentioned, after kind of a hiatus because we had some personal stuff going on, which kept us from recording. They mentioned that, and they're like, basically, they're glad to see us back.
Cool.
So we got some great podcasters out there. I also listen to them as well. They're out of Nova Scotia, and I'd like to do some kind of cross promotion with them at some point if we can. And that's one of the things with my work schedule being stupid. We've talked about scheduling interviews and then doing the cross promotions, but also I couldn't commit until I knew for sure. So. But yeah, definitely go listen to the Hill Truth. Go listen to Wrestling with the Truth, and you will not be disappointed. And if you want to get a hold of Dwaylen on Twitter, it's fat_daddy73. And he also has another social media channel, Big and Fat, because he is the fat daddy of the Big and Fat. And you can also find my other podcast, The Cubicle Chat, on any audio platform that's out there. In fact, we just had an episode yesterday where we were discussing cover songs, because that was what we were going to do 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Yeah, on the 21st of September, which is Earth, Wind, and Fire Day.
Yep.
And because we're talking about how Taylor Swift covered it really badly.
Yeah.
It's like, Taylor, come on. I mean, she's talented. I don't have anything against Taylor Swift, because I think she is talented. I mean, she's a great songwriter. However, she shouldn't have done that. That was just bad. But we discussed that and a lot of other good cover songs and bad cover songs. Next week, we're planning on discussing Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh, okay. That'll be cool.
So, a little different. I don't know how many podcasts talk about Weird Al, but we decided, you know what? Let's talk about Weird Al. So, so go check that out. And have I forgotten anything?
Nope. I believe that is everything.
Cool. All right. Then we will get the show on the road. And I'll be honest, I'm looking at this match list, and I have not been able to watch hardly any wrestling at all.
Same here.
Man, sometimes life just gets in the way, and
I was going to say the same thing. Sometimes life just gets in the way.
But we will discuss these matches and do our best to tell you who we think will win and who we think should win. Sometimes it may be the same. Sometimes it might not be.
Yeah.
And we'll go and we're on the Wikipedia article talking about the upcoming event, and we will go in probably the match order starting from top to bottom. You think?
Yeah, probably. I mean, we don't really know what's going to main event. I would say looks like Lashley's not defending the United States title, so I would say the Raw Women's Championship match would probably main event the pay-per-view.
Is that no? There's two championship matches.
There's only two championship matches on the card. No Intercontinental title, no United States title. Of course, Roman's not booked for the show, so no world title, no tag titles, no women's tag titles. So it's just the two women's world titles that are on the line this Saturday.
That's a little different.
Yeah.
But it's the Extreme Rules thing, and they're actually going with matches.
Let's see. Every match has some type of Extreme Rule type stipulation.
Yeah, they're all gimmick matches.
Yeah, instead of having like under Vince McMahon where he would have like one match that would fall under Extreme Rules and everything else was just a standard wrestling match, and it's like,
yeah,
what's the point of the pay-per-view if that's all you're doing?
Now the wild thing is some of their early WrestleManias, they had almost like enhancement matches on those.
Yeah, yeah,
The very first WrestleMania match was Tito Santana and the Executioner,
yeah,
and which was Buddy Rose under a really
yeah. With
hideous
like no
mask.
build or anything, just hey, here's a match. Go ahead.
Yeah, and do you realize how many people were named the Executioner back in the day?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, so it's like, which one was it? Oh, Buddy Rose, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Why don't you just have Tito Santana versus Buddy Rose? That probably would have.
Yeah.
Anyway, but so this one has one Extreme Rules match.
Mm-hmm.
Liv Morgan, very first match is listed on here. Liv Morgan and Ronda Rousey. Um, I'm thinking Ronda Rousey should win because they've booked Liv Morgan poorly, and so they
Yes.
need to get the title off of her because they.
I 100% agree. That's exactly what I was going to say. They need to get the title off Liv, even if they do it temporarily, kind of build her up better because like you said, since she's been champion, they've booked her terribly. Like I've said numerous times, she has escaped with the title. And your babyface champion should not be escaping with the title. They should be winning, they should be solidly defeating their opponents, not barely scraping by. And yeah, I think Ronda should win this match, just skill alone. I mean, she should win it given the extreme rules and everything. And I'm gonna pick Ronda Rousey. I think Ronda should win. That's who I'm gonna pick to win the match. I just think they need to kind of retool Liv a little bit and build her back up to where she was before she won the title. And but they can't do that while she's champion.
And especially when, okay, her winning the championship, okay, Money in the Bank, she cashed in. Okay,
yeah,
I mean
that was awesome. But then after that, it's just she's looked extremely ineffective as champion.
Her very first defense, what they did with her was a heel thing.
Yes, exactly.
Having her tap where the referee can't see it while she's pinning Ronda, that is what you do to a heel, not a babyface.
Right.
And then the very next night or 2 nights later, at Raw, they were chanting, "You tapped out, you tapped out." So the fans automatically were like, why would we support her when your champion should be a winner?
Exactly.
Your babyface champion.
Your babyface champion.
Be a winner.
Yeah. Heel champions get a lot more leeway with scraping by with the title because that's what a heel does. They do anything they have to keep the title. But your babyface is supposed to be, that symbol of virtue and everything. And they're supposed to be, defeating the bad guy and all that. And it's like they just haven't done that with Liv.
It makes me kind of wonder what they'll pull out as far as like the Extreme Rules. Somebody, I don't know why they keep misplacing their Raton canes.
Yeah.
I don't know who keeps losing them, but they need to, before they leave the arena, they need to check to make sure, hey, what about the Raton canes? I think sometimes they've called them the Singapore canes.
Yeah.
Either way, they keep losing them and they keep finding them under the ring. Now, but I can see them bringing that in. But Ronda Rousey, the real Ronda Rousey, not sports entertainment Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey would probably wipe the mat with Liv.
Oh yeah, the real life Ronda Rousey is a killer, and she's had to tone that down a lot, of course, for wrestling purposes. But I just feel like Ronda should win this match. Not saying I'm a huge fan of Ronda Rousey because as far as wrestling goes, I'm not really a huge fan of hers. But I think she needs to win this match.
Yeah, because her matches have just been like, I don't know why they always felt uncomfortable to watch because she just wasn't doing things right.
Right.
I mean, but I mean, even though we know she's legitimately tough, she just had a little bit her first run, she had trouble adapting to the sports entertainment thing.
Yeah.
And then when she got booed.
Oh yeah, that was it. Which then at least they did the smart move and turned her heel when she got booed, and you could tell she was having trouble dealing with it.
Yep. And now she's actually a heel, and I think she's kind of embraced it. Even though
Oh
people
yeah,
now that she's a heel, people are actually cheering for her again.
yeah. People are cheering for her now, but yeah, I just think I think the best choice right now is Ronda winning the SmackDown Women's title.
Yep. And then having like a strong face
Hmm.
chasing it,
Yeah,
because that draws people in, is the chase.
yeah,
You don't want to have, okay, well, they wanted this pay per view, next pay per view, they're going to swap it back. The next one, they'll go back. You can't do that.
no,
And the 50-50 booking just doesn't
yeah,
work.
nope,
Nobody's going to watch the NFL. Well, I can't say they're 8-8 because now it's like 8-9 because they have 17 games.
yeah.
But nobody's going to watch the NFL if you have 8-9, 9-8
Well,
teams.
just like when they do tie games,
I hate
ending a football game in a tie is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard of. It's like just finish it.
finish. I mean, college football. The last time they had a tie game in college football was what, 1994,
Something like
something like
that.
that. I
Yeah.
mean, it's because they're like tie. They actually hurt the teams,
Uh-huh.
in the ratings and rankings and things like that. And yeah, these two teams, they were tough with each other, but
Yeah.
like, well, okay, what do you do with a tie?
Hmm.
And the NFL especially has had way too many tie games in the past few years.
Yeah. Yeah, they
And
have.
yeah, I thought when they were redoing the overtime rules, all right, cool, but they still didn't eliminate tie games. College will go to like 8 overtimes if they have to. They're going to have a winner.
Hmm. Yep.
NFL professional football players should
Yeah.
have a winner in the games.
Yeah. I
But
agree.
anyway, go off of our NFL soapbox for you know, um, but I think Ronda. I agree with you. Ronda should win. I think she will win. Uh, Next match. Speaking of MMA, Matt Riddle and Seth Rollins.
Yep. Not doing the
Not
nickname,
doing it.
not doing
Not
it.
doing it.
Nope.
It's
Mm-mm,
stupid.
refuse.
Not doing it. Fight pit match. I'm guessing they're going to try to have it as almost like a shoot fight with.
Yeah. Kind of like, do you remember SummerSlam 98 where they had the Lions Den match with it was Ken Shamrock and Owen Hart?
Oh, okay.
I think they're going to do something similar to that because of Riddle's background in MMA, and they've done everything else with him and Seth Rollins, and it's like I feel like this is like it. This is like there. It's like Rollins and Riddle's Hell in a Cell. This is the end of the feud. My problem is who needs the win more because last pay per view Seth Rollins won when I figured Matt Riddle would be the one to win, but Seth Rollins won. This is more of Matt Riddle's backyard, you could say. This is kind of like his home field advantage. You would think he would win, but I don't know. I mean, if they're going to push Riddle up the card, then Riddle needs to win.
Is
If
Matt
they're
Riddle
just,
is he from Philadelphia?
I can't. I'm not sure where he's from.
He's from Allentown.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, he is from Pennsylvania, even though
Yeah,
I can't think of where Allentown is. But
yeah,
um, I mean, Billy Joel sang about it, so it can't be that bad.
yeah. But
Uh,
like I said, if they're going to push Riddle up the card, then it makes sense to have him win. But if they're just going to keep him upper mid card where he's at, then just have Rollins win and push Rollins up the card
yeah,
toward, back towards the main event. Because I mean, Seth Rollins is that's one of the best things they've got right now. He's really embraced this character that he's doing, and I feel like he's doing some of his best work since he's been in WWE. Um, he's even got my brother interested in it, and because my brother called me one day and he's like, uh, after the promo with him and Matt Riddle on Raw, he's like, "Oh, if I can get this Seth Rollins every week, I'm watching every week." He's like, "I like this Seth Rollins."
when are we going to get your brother on the show?
I don't know because he's a busier man than we are. So
Oh wow,
yeah,
okay.
Well, he runs, he's the director of the Boys and Girls Club in Hopkinsville.
Okay.
And then so he does that. So he's doing all kinds of stuff all the time with that. And then he has his own small business, and he makes collectible stuff. He has like 3D printers and stuff, and he
All
makes
right.
collectible stuff, and he does stuff on commission, and then he goes to different uh like cons around the area and
Okay.
sets up a booth and sells stuff there. So yeah, he's always on the go too. So I'll
That's
try to
any.
get with him.
You know what?
I'll
And
try.
he's big enough. He'll just stand at his booth and say, "Come buy my stuff." And all right.
It's like, okay, calm
Okay, man, calm
down.
down. You
But
know. So
yeah, we need to get him on sometime though. We'll just have to see if when all three of our schedules can mesh.
yeah, I mean, even if we have to do it like on an off day, I mean, maybe like
Yeah.
a Saturday or something, as a special attraction. Um, but yeah, this Seth Rollins, I mean, yeah, I definitely like it better than what was it, the Monday Night Messiah. I was not a fan of that one.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that one. It's like they were trying to give him the CM Punk thing, but it wasn't
Yeah,
working. Like
yeah,
CM Punk made that work when he was doing the straight edge society stuff, but it's like they were trying to have Rollins kind of lean into that, but it just plus it didn't help that right at the height of the Monday Night Messiah stuff, the pandemic happened. So he's doing
yep,
all this stuff in an empty arena. So, that kind of killed any because that type of gimmick needs crowd interaction
yeah, it
to
does.
which so I'm glad he's getting to embrace this character and he's getting that crowd interaction. I mean, the crowd's loving it. He's technically a heel, but I mean, the whole arena's singing his theme song when he comes out, and you know that that tells you when you're doing something right. When even though you're the bad guy, the fans are into what you're doing. So
Yeah, I mean, they'll sing his theme song. They love that. He gets in the ring, they start booing the crap out of him.
yeah,
And that's really, I mean,
and he embraces
yeah.
that because he's just like. But as soon as he starts doing this, the crowd starts humming his theme song again, and then he'll just stop like, ha ha. No, I got you.
I mean,
But
it,
I'm going to go with Seth Rollins to win this.
I'm actually going to go with Riddle, um, because I think they need Seth Rollins doesn't need a push. He's going to stay at the top. I mean,
Right. And it's not going to hurt him if he loses.
exactly. So I think they will go with Riddle just because they've been looking to push him anyways, just waiting
Mm-hmm.
for that next step. And we didn't even mention Daniel Cormier. How you
Yeah.
pronounce it? Yeah,
Yep.
he's the special guest referee.
Yep. Which is going to
And
make it's going to make that pretty interesting. So
yeah, because isn't Daniel Cormier the same person who almost broke Kurt Angle's arm for real?
no. That was Daniel Pewter.
Damn, Daniel Pewter. Daniel. Okay, I'm about to
Yeah,
look up.
which ties into tough enough. He was a tough enough guy.
Yeah, yep,
Yeah.
Pewter was, and that killed his career by almost breaking Kurt Angle's arm because
Yeah.
the next Royal Rumble, it
Oh
was
Lord. He was
they
in the Rumble and ended up getting just the
just
life chopped out of him by Hardcore Holly, Chris Benoit, and Eddie Guerrero. They just mauled that kid. And it's
yeah,
like
just because I mean,
I'm glad that type of punishment type stuff has stopped, or hopefully has stopped, because that was just, I mean, okay, did he almost break Kurt Angle's arm? Yes.
yeah,
The kid had a legitimate amateur background in wrestling. He got a little overzealous. I get, I get some type of punishment should have been meted out, I guess, but not what they did to him at the Rumble. That was just difficult to
well,
watch.
Benoit was known for being kind of
Yes.
like that. He was kind of a bully, so
Yeah, Benoit was a bully. I mean, he's still one of my
great. Yeah,
favorite technicians
yeah,
ever. But yeah, he's very much so was a bully behind the scenes. And it's
yep,
like there's just no place in that in any kind of sport.
exactly. But so we'll figure out what a fight pit match is. I might as well
Yep.
say, yeah, we're just going to have an MMA fight with an MMA fighter as a special guest referee.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think it'll be a good match. I mean, because I think Riddle is. I don't know why they don't advertise Riddle like his actual physical size. He's a big dude.
And Riddle is good. Like Riddle is really
Yes,
good. They've leaned in too much of
bro.
the stoner gimmick is
Yeah.
what they've done. They've leaned too much into that, and that has overshadowed, especially when it was him and Randy Orton as a tag team. That stoner gimmick has overshadowed his in-ring skills, and the dude is good. Like
Yes.
I've seen the dude in other wrestling promotions, and before he even got to NXT, the dude is really good.
Actually, I'm going to throw a little bit of a swerve in here. I think Randy Orton's going to come back, and I think he's going to interfere.
Well, I thought that too, but there's rumors going around that WWE is really concerned about Randy Orton's back. He's having, from what I've seen, he's having more issues with it
Ooh.
than the initially thought. That's why he's been off for so long, is because he's been having problems with his back, and they think it may be getting worse. Now, it could be one of those where he makes a run in, turns on Riddle, and then disappears again. But I don't know. That's just what I've been seeing, but I haven't seen any
Okay.
confirmation from like Meltzer or WrestleZone or anything like that, or WWE themselves. So that has to be taken with a grain of salt. But
Oh, so yeah. So I mean, I'll just throw that as a possibility.
yeah,
But
but I mean, it's always possible. You never
yeah.
know.
Next match, which I've been waiting for these two to actually get at it in the ring anyway.
Hmm.
McIntyre and Karrion Kross in a strap match. Granted, your first match of a series is not normally a gimmick match,
No, and
but
for these two, I don't know if the strap match is the right gimmick, because it's like these two have
yeah,
been just beating the crap out of each other, and neither of them have been running away. It's not a matter of, usually that's what the strap match is for, is to keep
right.
your opponent from running. Neither of these guys are running from anybody. Drew McIntyre is not running. Karrion Kross is not running. This should have been like a falls count anywhere, no holds barred type of thing, where they're brawling all over the arena and backstage and all that kind of thing, because they're so hell bent on getting at each other. Um, so we'll see what they do in the strap match. I think it's going to be pretty physical. I think it's going to be a pretty brutal
Yeah,
match, especially with the strap involved. I'm picking Karrion Kross because it's not going to hurt Drew McIntyre to lose this match.
right.
But Karrion Kross needs this win, especially this is like his first big main roster match since he's come back to the company. I think he needs the win, so I'm going to go with Karrion Kross.
And I'll definitely agree. And the reason why is because remember his first time he was in the main roster, they
Mm-hmm.
had him jobbing to Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, they had him job with Jeff Hardy in 2 minutes. Had Jeff Hardy put his feet on the ropes,
Yeah, they were trying to
but
turn Jeff heel, which I didn't
yeah,
get that.
and it made no sense. And then they took away, they stripped everything away that made the Karrion Kross character interesting in the first place. I'm glad when Triple H brought him back, he brought all of those elements back. The vignettes, Scarlet, the entrance, all of that. It's what, the stuff that he does in the ring, okay, but um the stuff outside the ring and the aura that he had really makes that character.
It makes like a monster heel.
Yes.
And I mean, and he's not like a big, like a King Kong Bundy type size, but I mean, he is, I mean, he's
No, and
stout, but
watch his like I've watched his work in Impact when he was Killer Cross. I've watched his work in NXT. Like the dude's legit. And it's
yeah,
like, just let him be him. Don't water down what, I mean, if it worked at NXT, it can work on the main roster. Just bring them up and let them keep doing what they're doing.
right. Because I mean, right now his character is one like if you saw him walking down the street, you would
Hmm.
cross the street and then go, even if like your house was right there, you would
Yeah.
just move.
Oh yeah.
You wouldn't go in your own house.
And I love his line where he says, no, no matter where the time is told, everybody pays the toll.
I love that.
Yeah, me too.
You're like, oh,
yeah, exactly. It's like first time I ever heard him say it, I'm like, that's fantastic. There it is.
That's it. That's going to my new Facebook quote.
Yep, I did. I put that on Facebook the first time I heard him say it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's Facebook worthy. Yep.
Yep. There we go. So, and that, yeah, like you said, that's going to be a brutal match.
Oh yeah.
I don't see like a lot of figure fours and abdominal stretches in that match.
No, I see a lot of punches in the mouth.
Yeah.
A lot of people's backs getting beat up with the strap. People getting choked out with the strap. It's going to be pretty physical.
Oh, and actually, the next match for the women's, the Raw Women's Championship, this one actually I could see it's got some potential to also be kind of physical.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Ugh.
Allergies.
Yeah, this temperature going up and down has been messing with my sinuses. It's like,
but this one, Bianca Belair,
Blair.
It's like, she's on Facts of Life. I mean,
yeah.
Bianca. But, against Bayley.
Yep.
And when I'm sitting there reading this, at first I'm thinking, okay, there's 6 women in this match, and I go, wait a minute, it's just Bianca and Bayley.
Yeah, and then Alexa Bliss and Asuka are coming out with Bianca to counteract Dakota Kai and Io Sky, who are the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions.
Yep, Damage Control, which I like that name.
I do too.
Yep.
I'm going with Bayley. I think Bayley.
So am I. And I think Bayley. I mean, of course, they're not going to stop the interference, and it's a ladder match. No. They're not going to disqualify. There's every match on here. They might as well say, by the way, all these matches are no disqualification.
Yeah, because we're not going to stop any interference or anything. So that's part of the Extreme Rules gimmick, is like anything goes. So yeah, they're not going to stop the interference, and I think Dakota Kai and Io Sky are going to help Bayley win the title. I'm fine with that because it's another case of it's not going to hurt Bianca.
No,
to win the title,
because
to lose the title.
It's not going to be a clean win. We know that. I mean, just
so she can still, and so she'll still be able to chase Bayley,
and
try to get her title back, because that way they get a good one-on-one feud. Because that's where they were leading with Bayley coming back. Forming Damage Control. When she came back at SummerSlam, we all knew that's where this was going, was Bayley versus Bianca for the title. So I think Bayley's going to win, which would be in my opinion, would be the smart choice.
Oh, I definitely agree, because Bayley, when she had her run as champion, she was a face, but she was the all shucks, kind of a white meat baby face. She had the Bayley buddies, or the
she had the side ponytail and all that stuff,
and it just, I mean, I liked it. My daughter actually has a Bayley shirt. Hugger's gonna hug.
Savannah has one too. I think it says I'm a hugger.
Is what you know what?
Is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, she's got that. Even though Avery never wore it because it was a medium, and at the time she was like deathly skinny.
Yeah.
Even though she always thought she was fat, and it's like, really, it's like, no, you need to gain some weight. But I mean, but she had to, now I think, I mean, it'd be fine on her, but she put it on and it was just way too big for her.
Right.
Now, I mean, like I said, now, I mean, it wouldn't be tight on her, but now she'd be fine wearing it. But she's like, I don't really want to wear it anymore. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah. Glad I didn't spend good money on that.
Yeah. That was up in Columbus the same night that my wife bought a list of Jericho.
Oh, okay.
and then Big Show and Braun Strowman broke the ring. But anyway, but heel Bayley now, I mean, she's like, you want to see her get beat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she's got the good heel heat.
Exactly. I think, and I feel like Ted would agree with us that
Ted probably would.
She is the type of heel that people are going to pay money to see her get beat up.
Yes.
That's the mark of a great heel.
Yes.
And she's got that. So she's my pick to win this match and win the title. Hopefully they go through with that, because I feel like she deserves it.
Watch for probably Alexa Bliss to turn heel.
I think she needs to. I think this goody Alexa Bliss has not gone. My echo went off when I said her name. Um,
there goes. She's talking.
She said, "I don't have an answer for that." No, you don't, because I didn't ask the question. But this whole goody thing, like she had therapy on Raw and came back, and the Lily doll and all that. Can we just get the goddess back? Can we get that
Yes.
Alexa Bliss back? Can we get like probably the best female heel in the company at that time, Alexa Bliss back? I did it again.
I'm not sure about that.
Oh, that's why we
Lord.
forgot. We just had to say Miss Bliss.
Yeah, I always forget, and then it's like,
I mean, fortunately, well, you know what? I can't really say it either because it's also on my phone.
yeah,
You know, so I have to be very careful about saying that. Well, especially when I set it up to where I'll control the music on the
yep,
the thing in the living room with my phone.
yeah,
Then if I start saying the name, all of a sudden it pops up here.
yeah,
But yeah, the Alexa Bliss, it was after she did the whole Suicide Squad. What's her name?
Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn. After she's doing the Harley, it was like the next phase after that, where I think you and I were agreed, like she's one of the best heels in the company. Not best women heel. She's one of the best heels.
Yeah.
And you know, she had it down pat because she's so tiny, but she was vicious, and she was underhanded. I mean, and she could pull the chicken heel, just like when they had the Elimination Chamber when she walked out and Nia Jax is waiting for her, so she stepped back in the thing and closed the door.
yeah, she can do the chicken heel, but she can also do a dominant heel, and she just does great work, and I hope under Triple H they get back to that.
Yes,
because and plus they need more heels in the women's division too. They don't have enough heels. They've got plenty of faces, but not enough heels.
Yep. Oh yeah, and her finishing move, the Twisted Bliss, love that move.
Yeah.
You know, I like that move so much. Whenever I would create wrestlers on like 2K, either 17 or 19, whichever, because I had both, I would actually make that their finishing move. You know, because I'm like, because the first wrestler I ever remember seeing it was actually Too Cold Scorpio.
Yeah.
You know, he was the first one I saw do the whatever, the 540, you know, or the 3, you know, when he would do the complete flip and splash.
Yeah.
But then I saw him do that one time too, and I'm like, oh, I like that.
Yeah.
And but I mean, she won the world title with it. You know, she actually didn't she pin Ronda Rousey to win that title?
Yes, she did.
Cashed in her Money in the Bank, and there you go. And yeah, I want to see Alexa Bliss turn heel, and I have a feeling that's going to happen here. Or if she doesn't, Asuka will.
Yeah.
Because they've actually talked about how Asuka used to be in a team with, was it Dakota Kai?
No, it was Io Sky when they were in Japan, when they were in Stardom, they were tag team champions for a while in Stardom.
They've mentioned it, planting the seeds.
Yep.
You know, so which I'm actually kind of a side note. I'm very glad WWE, now that Vince is no longer going, we don't recognize other companies. Well, those other companies, you know, were beating you down.
Yeah.
And you know, so now they're actually recognizing the accomplishments, you know, that the wrestlers had outside of WWE. But I mean, they did say, oh, she was in a tag team. She was in a stable with this, like, okay, you know. So, but see, I think one of them is going to turn heel. I'm leaning towards Alexa Bliss, and not Alexa Bliss not joining Bailey, because Alexa, you know, she's so much better on her own.
Yeah, she doesn't need to join Damage Control, but just turning on Bianca would be a real shot in the arm for her character. And then you could have Bianca, you know, feuding with Miss Bliss at the same time that she's chasing Bailey for the title, because Bailey will throw all these obstacles in her way, and so she'll have to deal with Miss Bliss first, before she can move on and go with
Yep.
Bailey. In the interim, Bailey could feud with Asuka over the title.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, those would be some good matches right there.
oh yeah, yeah. So I mean, there's plenty of possibilities that they could do that are very interesting. I just think the catalyst needs to be Bailey winning the title.
Yep. And holding on to it. And I mean, kind of similar to the way the Bloodline is doing it, where you have the champion and then you have the two
Yeah.
sitting
And
out in
that's
front.
yeah, exactly. And that's what they need. They need Bailey to have the world title. And then you've got Dakota Kai and Io Sky with the tag titles. And there's your dominant, women's stable. And you've got so many people that could chase them.
Yep.
For those titles.
Yep. And I mean, and I think it'll be, I mean, that'll be, I'm ladder matches to me. Yeah. You've had some classic ones, Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon. I don't want to call the ones at WrestleMania 2000 and WrestleMania 18 or X7. I'm sorry, 2000 and X7. I don't really want to call those like classic ladder matches because those were TLC matches.
Yeah.
And it was 3 tag teams going after it.
Yeah. A ladder match is always hit or miss. It's like, because the stipulation, it's like, because you've got this inanimate object and you don't know, anything can happen with the ladder.
Right.
I mean, you could get, a rung could break, the ladder could bend when you're trying to set it up or whatever. I mean, I know they have multiples around the ring, but ladder matches are just, they're just hard, they're hard to predict what quality you're going to get.
Exactly. And Bianca, like her style, because she is so strong.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said before, she's got that Cesaro strength. Very similar, because you're looking, going, okay, there's not a whole lot of muscle mass. Man, does she just press Nia Jax above her head? And and she could. I don't think I don't know if she ever did or not, but she probably could, because
I'm sure she could.
Oh man. But with that, I mean, Bianca, but then again, she's also very tall. And tall people will have an advantage in a ladder match.
Yep.
So I think it'd be good. And the next one that I have listed, Edge and Finn Balor. Of course, Finn Balor's going to have the Judgment Day, which now includes Dominic Mysterio.
Yep. Here's my prediction: Finn Balor needs to win this match. The Judgment Day are kind of on a upward trajectory. Finn, they're actually booking Finn like a big deal now, like they should have.
Like they should have a long time ago.
Yeah. Finn needs to win this match. There's no need for Edge to win this match. And I think Rey Mysterio is going to cost Edge this match. Because
on purpose, or
honestly, I think on purpose. Not to join the Judgment Day, but I think Dominic's going to interfere somehow, and Rey's going to come out to stop Edge from hurting Dominic and cost Edge the match.
Yeah,
how that works is, I'm not sure, because it's an I Quit match. So I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I don't know how. I just have a feeling Rey's going to interfere, because that has been the big story since Dominic joined the Judgment Day. Was, Rey's been trying to get him out of it, and he's been losing match after match. Like the most recent one he lost was him and AJ Styles versus Finn and Damian Priest. They lost. AJ shoved Rey down, told him it was all his fault, and so Rey walked out on AJ, and then the Judgment Day hit the ring and attacked AJ, because Finn's been trying to get AJ to join the Judgment Day. So I see AJ Styles getting involved, probably try to get some payback on getting beat down on Raw. But I still think Rey's going to cost Edge this match. I don't know how exactly, because it is I Quit, but because I don't see them making Finn say I quit, but I don't know how they get Edge to do it either.
I'm just going to throw this out there. Rey interferes. They beat him down. Dominic grabs him in some kind of move.
And Edge has to say, "I quit"
I
to
quit.
save Ray.
Save Ray.
I could see that. Yeah.
Okay. And and of course it'll be Rhea Ripley telling Dominic, "Hey, go put your dad in the camel clutch."
Yeah.
Or
she's gonna whisper, and then he's gonna go do it, and I can't blame him. She whispers in my ear and be like, "Okay, what do you need? What you got?"
Like, yeah, all right. you want to make you apple pie? All right.
Apple pie.
You want a back rub?
Yeah,
right here.
Like, right here, whatever you need.
Yep. My car keys. All right, here you go. So
here you go.
it's like the people just gotta have to understand.
Yeah, it's like
so. Oh, but yeah, I mean that's our swerve prediction for that one because
because there's got to be some kind of swerve,
And nobody's accompanying Edge.
No,
they haven't announced it, so and they can't really tell the rest of the Judgment Day. You got to go back to the back. I mean, it's an I quit match, which means it's a no disqualification. But I mean, I think it'll be another one. It's going to be brutal. And these two guys, I mean, they're lightweights enough that they can actually get some good flying moves in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
And even though Finn Balor, I still don't like his finishing move. I never have. Where it's like, what's your move? I jump on her stomach. I've
never been a fan of the coup de grace. Yeah, it was just, I wish he'd come up with something else, but that seems to be what he's sticking with. So,
I mean, he's not the first one to use it, and you got a smaller guys who use it. The first one I remember using it was Bill Dundee.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what he called it.
I mean, he makes it work, and it looks like it hurts, but you can tell that he's not just crushing that person's sternum. Right. I mean, he makes it look effective. I've just never been a fan of the move.
Yeah. I mean, Ray's going to get involved. AJ may get involved.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think AJ. He's not going to join the Judgment Day. I think they're AJ. If AJ is going to be in a faction, he's going to be leading the faction.
Yeah, exactly. He's not going to be a follower. No.
I mean, so if you had him in there, it would be a power struggle.
Yeah.
But and you know what? The last match they have listed, this looks like a fun match. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you've got the Brawling Brutes, which Sheamus, Ridge Holland, and Butch, Pete Dunne, which they're leaning more toward the Pete Dunne stuff because even his gear is like the stuff he wore when he was Pete Dunne. He's talking more on the mic and not just acting like a rabid pit bull like they had him doing when he first got on the main roster. But they're a solid unit. And then this is the first time I've been interested in Sheamus in forever. Since this faction has been going. And then they're going to wrestle Imperium, which I'm glad they put Imperium back together. I always thought it was dumb of Vince to split them up to begin with. But I think that's going to be really good, and you're going to get another brutal showing from Sheamus and Gunther.
And I'm sitting here looking up something. Wow. Okay, so on one side you have an Irishman and two Englishmen. On the other side you have a German, an Austrian, and an Italian.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This is like the most European match
that you're ever going to get. Yeah. And I mean, you've got like Ridge Holland and Pete Dunne are turning into a really good tag team. Vinci and Kaiser are an excellent tag team. They were, believe they were NXT UK tag team champions. And I know that they were, I think, 2-time NXT tag team champions. So, I mean, they have, experience as a team. Of course, we know Gunther, Walter, whatever you want to call him, is, a world-renowned athlete.
Yeah.
He's in phenomenal shape. I think he's bringing some prestige back to the Intercontinental title. Sheamus.
It's been needing that for a while.
Yes. And then Sheamus, who is still chasing Gunther because the Intercontinental title is the only title he hasn't held. because if he wins the Intercontinental Championship, he will be the ultimate Grand Slam because he will have won the Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank, the WWE Championship, the World Heavyweight Championship, tag titles, United States title, and the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he held a hardcore title or 24/7 title at some point too. But they're calling it a good old fashioned Donnybrook match. I don't know why you still call it a street fight. I mean, that's
because there's Europeans in it.
Yep,
that's why. Because that's exactly why. It's like, and I kind of appreciate that. It's like, everybody in this match is European, so we'll give the name of the match a little European flavor.
And not just, I mean, they're European, but I mean, they're all like strapping, well, not really young anymore, but strapping young lads. I mean, they all look like they're going to walk into a bar and just start throwing beers at people.
Oh, yeah.
And, so that's good. I mean, that's a good old fashioned Donnybrook. Yeah. You know what? That does fit. And especially being in Philadelphia, we haven't brought that up. The Extreme Rules match in the home of Extreme Championship Wrestling.
Exactly. Yep. And like we said, a whole pay-per-view of actual matches that lean into the gimmick of the pay-per-view. So
yes,
bravo.
Yeah,
I think it'll be a pretty good show.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to watch it live. I don't know what we have going on Saturday yet, but I will definitely try to get it watched this weekend. If not, I will watch it on Monday. But side note, I did find out something. There will be War Games matches at Survivor Series this year.
Really?
Yes. This year's Survivor Series is called War Games.
Two rings?
Yeah. Triple H is like, okay, I'm in charge.
Triple H gets it.
I think there's going to be a women's War Game match and a men's War Games match.
The only thing I would have changed about the War Games matches back in the day is I would have made them elimination matches, not just
surrender. Yeah,
one person surrenders. Well, that's your whole everybody's
that's your whole
done.
team. Yeah. I think elimination would have been good, but I think back then, as long as those matches were,
I mean, they were already kind of brutal.
Yeah, well, they were already brutal and they were already long because you had to wait. The match didn't even truly start until everybody was in the ring. And then the match beyond started, and then you still had another 30 minutes of brutality before somebody, gave up. But I think that's going to be interesting too. It's WWE's looking up. So
yeah, I mean Paul Levesque, Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Terra Rising. What else can we call him?
Jean Paul Levesque, Terra Rising, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Triple H, King of Kings, The Game, Cerebral Assassin.
He's got all the names.
He's got all the names. Yeah.
I mean, at one point he had such a glorious mustache too. That the handlebar no beard mustache. That thing was awesome.
Yeah, he had that. He had that Harley Race thing going when Harley was trying to get somebody to take the money for the bounty on Flair.
Yeah.
It was that look that he had.
Just take the money.
Yeah, he's just screaming in the camera. It's $25,000. Just take the money.
Just take the money.
It's like, Jesus, Hart, just give it to me then. Just give me
right.
the money. I mean, I'm not going to beat up Flair. Just give me the money.
Just give me the money.
Calm down.
I mean, yeah. And but I mean, I just seen this. I mean, it's not one of the big four, so I don't expect it to have like the big four type matches, but it's going to be good.
I think it'll be
good. On paper,
good.
it's going to be good.
Yeah, on paper, it looks good. We'll just have to see because I try not to go into WWE pay-per-views with a lot of expectations. That way I'm pleasantly surprised when they surpass my expectations.
Right.
I'm not expecting, a 5-star show, but I think it'll be a good show. I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be entertaining.
Because you set the bar low, you win every time.
Exactly. You set the bar low, you're never disappointed.
Say low expectations. Oh, I'm so good.
Yeah, I got this.
Oh yeah, and it's going to be Saturday night. I'm going to guess 7 o'clock Eastern because that's normally, well, they say 7 o'clock. That's really the kickoff show.
Yeah.
And with there being only 6 matches, I can't see there being a kickoff show match.
Yeah, I can't see there being a match on the kickoff show with just 6 matches. We may get a bonus match thrown in, but I don't know who that would be.
I mean, there's a lot of people not listed. I mean, there's even like Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode. I mean, they're not listed. Miz is listed.
Bobby Roode is out injured. I'm not exactly sure what the injury is, but he posted on Twitter about going to see the doctor about his rehab or whatever. So I'm not exactly sure what the injury was, but he's out injured. Montez Ford is injured. He was wearing a boot on Raw, so he's got some kind of foot injury. Strowman's not booked. Bobby Lashley's not booked. I don't see them putting those two together just yet, but that would be a good match if they do.
And there's always the rumor and the speculation that Bray Wyatt, the whole White Rabbit thing, unfortunately, I haven't been able to
I haven't either. It's like, just bring him back.
Yeah.
Can you just, quit with all the, you've done enough vignettes, just bring him back. If you're not going to do it right now, then quit stringing us along until you do. I mean, make up your mind when you're going to bring him back, because we all know it's him.
Yeah.
So if it's not him, then I don't know who else it would be. I don't know who it could be, because he's the biggest rehire that's, that they could do right now. Just bring him back as the Bray Wyatt from NXT, and when he first got to the main roster, before they messed with everything, just bring him back as that creepy backwoods preacher.
The Cape Fear one.
Exactly. Yeah. Bring him back as the creepy backwoods preacher, Cape Fear guy. That worked. And have him win his feuds.
Yes.
Because all you're doing is having him talk a big game and then lose every match. And it just ruined his aura. Nobody bought anything that he said, because you knew going into the match, he's wrestling The Undertaker, he's going to lose. He's wrestling John Cena, he's going to lose. They always made him lose, so it's like nothing he said mattered.
Yep. He lost the world title twice on pay-per-views.
Yeah.
One in the debacle with Randy Orton, where they kept showing the image of like worms on the ring. It's like, what are y'all doing?
Old Kevin Dunn.
Yeah, he needs to go too. Clown Shoes is out of there. Kevin Dunn needs to go too.
Yeah.
Oh, but either way, I think it'll be good. Because the only thing, there is a wrestling thing going on this weekend, but it's up in Fairfield, which I've been to one of their outdoor events. In fact, last year I think it was in October I went, and that was when I made the mistake of wearing shorts and a t-shirt.
Right. When you were freezing, yeah.
Yeah. But it's not the drive there, it's the drive back.
Right.
Because it's late at night when it ends, and but that's NWF. Love watching NWF shows. So Leighton and maybe Tawana too, we may be going to the Renaissance Festival.
Okay, cool.
Haven't been there in a few years, so try to go see that. But next weekend there's actually the thing going on in Chillicothe, which right now I'm very on the fence on whether I'm going to go or not, because it's not free to get in, first of all. And then, if you want to meet somebody, it's, hey, that'd be $20. Oh, that'd be $25. You want a picture and an autograph? Oh, that's $40. And and there's going to be some big names there. I mean, but I know if I go there, I'd be walking out with probably a couple more belts. Not that I don't want the belts, but
your wife's going to kill you if you get another one.
She would kill me if I get another one, and because I already got the two.
Yep. The big gold.
Thank you very much, my friend.
Thank you.
But that night there's also an event in Mount Orb.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be Mount Orb, and I missed their last one because we're down in Florida. I mean, of course, we're taking my daughter, and we're doing that, so I'll probably just not go to Chillicothe as much as
And
what I'd
just do
like
the-
to. Yeah.
Right.
Because I mean, Kane's going to be there. Eric Redbeard, speaking of the Wyatt family, he's going to be there.
Oh, okay.
Yep, Baby Doll's going to be there. Her ex-husband Sam Houston's going to be there. I mean, I could probably send you a list of
Yeah.
all the ones. I mean, and big names. The last one, I mean, had even more names. I mean, I showed you all the people, and my son, he had no clue who a lot of them were. He's like, I don't know who these people are. He got a picture. He didn't actually take his picture of Kevin Sullivan. He's like, I don't know who that is. And then all of a sudden he started looking up the names. He's like, oh my God, these people are famous. And I said, yeah, I've been telling you that.
It's like I tried to tell you.
Yeah, Ricky Steamboat, Tommy Rich, right there beside each other. Tully Blanchard, J.J. Dillon, Barry Windham was there. I mean, they that's where we actually met Buff in person, and he gave me the picture to send to you. He autographed it. And of course, Scott Steiner was there with him. Kevin Nash, I was like, Rick Steiner was there. Greg Valentine was there. I mean, Billy Gunn and his two sons were there. I mean, there was just so many people there, and I think this was going to be the same thing. Kurt Angle was at the last one. I'm trying to think it was Kurt Angle going to be this one or not. But I mean, I actually thought about going to it because I actually want to meet Baby Doll and say, remember when I helped you out with your cable a few years ago? I made some emails for you trying to get you helped out. Yeah, that remember that? That was me. But and like I mean, I'd love to try to get somebody on the podcast too. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But it's like I know I'd spend way too much money up there too. And then once again, it's a case of I have to drive back. But I also had tried to be I wouldn't want to stay for the wrestling because the wrestling was fine last time. Oh, Mr. Hughes is going to be there again.
Oh, okay.
And, so, but it's getting back, trying to make it back in time for the Mount Orb event.
Yeah.
And we might have a birthday party. I'm going to talk to my wife about it. Her cousin's son is having his birthday party that day.
Oh, okay.
So we've been invited, and so we may be going to that. I'll have to. In fact, it's her cousin who's actually giving me she's like, hey, go apply for this job.
Oh, okay.
Cool. That type of deal. Cool. So, and before we get off, I actually got not a wrestler, but somebody else that passed away. You remember the comedian Judy Tenuta?
I saw the headline when I got online right before the show. I saw the headline. Yeah, about her passing. Yeah.
Yep. I just got it because another podcast, they're not a wrestling podcast, but I didn't meet them at the Women's Revolution Rising event through the NWF. I actually met the guys who run the Mixtape podcast. They actually.
Oh, right. Yeah.
They said we had just reached out to try to have her as a guest.
Oh, okay.
Which, by the way, they've gotten some pretty big guests. They just had the former bass player from White Zombie, Sean. Yes, I can't pronounce her last name. I'd have to actually. I haven't listened to the episode yet. But they've had her on. They've had some other. They had Ronda Shear. Remember from Up All Night? I can't do the voice.
Yeah,
Up All Night. They had
Up All Night.
Yep. Yep. They've had her on their show. So I mean, another pretty good podcast. Check it out. It's not wrestling, but I mean they have a lot of pop culture and things like that. I mean, and this guy, they're actually also based out of Cincinnati, and I'd like at some point I'd like to try to talk to them about something. But yeah, they announced it. But I don't think there's anything else going on.
No, I don't think so.
And I'm hitting that point now where I'm starting to ramble. So, probably a sign I need to go ahead and get off and get everything set, to where I can hopefully upload it here pretty soon, at least the audio. The video always has to wait till the next morning just because it takes so long to freaking process.
Right.
Yeah, you hit go and you just walk around, you go build a house. By the time you get back, it may be halfway done. But
yeah.
But hopefully Monday we might just be doing a review.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, because you never know what can happen between now and Monday in the wrestling world. It's always a crapshoot. So
yeah.
But until we figure that out, my friend, good night and God bless.
God bless.